Hi everyone, it's Adriana here, and today I'm going to use the alcohol ink markers, the twin tip alcohol ink markers from Couture Creations. And I want to discuss with you a little bit about blending and the combinations of how you can create wonderful blends using the Effortless Blending combination charts that we have organized for you. There's also some great information on features and tips of the alcohol ink markers, and this is all available on our website, and also I have a link down below in the description of my video here today. So the effortless blending combinations are a great tool to know which colors can blend in beautifully. So we've done the work for you. Couture Creations have created some great blends of alcohol ink markers, and I'm going to show you how fantastic these markers work, and using the Colorless Blending Pen, which is no color at all. It helps you blend the colors together but also highlights, and I've also got another video that includes some great features using the Colorless Blending Pen. But using this combination of colors and looking on this chart, you will see that there's probably about 3 to 4 colors with each blend to create your perfect combination of blending, shading and highlighting. I'm going to be using this one here, which has 4 colors, and I'm going to I've stamped already some flowers, and now I'm going to actually color them in, and using the combination that I have shown you there's 4 colors. Now normally you would look at these and think, I don't think these colors are going to blend together, but I'm going to show you how effortlessly it does. And I'm not a colorist, I've never done too much in Copic coloring, but I'm going to show you how easy it is to do, and even children can do this as well, to get a great color combination on items that you want to color in. So the 4 colors I have here are 712, which is called Pastel Yellow. The next one is 151, which is light orange. And the other one is 150, which is Marigold. And the last one is 715 Terra Cotta. Like again, I'll have all the colors listed below in the description of my video. Now I'm using the tip that has the brush end, and what I'm using is the 712, which is the lightest of all the colors in this combination, and highlighting around the edges. I find this works fabulous in blending in, and I'm going to show you this technique using this combination of colors that we've put together. The next color I'm using is a 151, which is a deeper shade, and I'm going to use that to make the deepest or the darking shade of my card. And I'm using the other tip, which is a hard bullet tip, and just following the guidelines of the flower, I'm just adding color to the inside and just underneath to not highlight but shade the dark color of my flower. When you're working with the alcohol ink markers, you will notice that it does absorb into the paper, and also when you've actually added some blending colorless pen on it as well, it actually is wet. And the best thing of how to color with these markers is making sure that it's constantly wet. Using the right paper as well is so important, and I'm using Couture Creations blending cardstock. Perfect for this type of coloring with the alcohol ink markers. I find the colors, once they dry on your paper, they change, and I really love the effect of using the blender pen over it, the color blender pen over it, to highlight areas, as it actually takes away some of the color and just highlights some areas that you want to give it a bit of a 3D effect. I'm now using my third color here and adding just little flecks of this color here. It is a bit more darker shade, and just in the part of the flowers where it goes into the petals, go inside the flower. to add more colour. And then my last part of this flower, before I colour in the rest of the petals, I'm using the darker shade, which is the Terra Cotta 715, and adding a few dots around the centre because that's where the darker part of the shade of the petals are. This is a really deep orange colour, and it blends in beautifully with the other colours once it all dries. So now I'm going back with my first colour when I highlighted around the petals of my flower, the 712, which is a lovely pastel yellow. And I'm going around and sort of blending around with the rest of the petals and the rest of the colour, blending that around over the flower. As you can see, it's very wet and it hasn't dried yet, but when this dries, the colour is superb. And just maybe just adding a little bit more colour of the 5150 just around the edges. Now the magic happens with the Colorless Blender. It isn't an actual blending pen. Probably is not the right word, blending, but I probably call it a highlighter pen. As you can see, as it's on the camera, is actually taking away some of the color to highlight it and just blend in beautifully. This is still wet, but when this is completely dry, the actual flower is amazing, and I think you'll be impressed with the actual results too, like I was. I'm just colouring in the centre a little bit and adding a bit of deeper tones around the edges, and also using the blending brush or blending pen around the inside. The Colourless Blending Pen, there are so many techniques to use with that pen, and I have another video that incorporates using that blending tool with lots of different ways with the alcohol markers. I'll have a list of that video in the description below. So when this flower is dry, you can see the results are amazing. You can see the highlighted colour, you can see the depthness of that flower. I really love that technique, and it's just a simple way of using the alcohol ink markers. So besides colouring in with alcohol ink markers, I'm going to show you another technique of using the alcohol ink markers to use it as a mixed media ink that you can use to colour papers, and especially on Yupo paper or synthetic alcohol ink paper. So here I have a tag. It's cut out with a die that I had from a previous collection with some synthetic alcohol ink paper. I have two colours here of my markers. They are grey 430 and dark olive 371, and with a brush and a little bit of isopro alcohol, I'm just colouring in my tag with those two colours, just blending it with my brush. Very simple and a great technique that you can use a brush or you can use a felt applicator to colour your alcohol paper, which is a synthetic paper, and using the markers with isopro alcohol. I haven't quite finished the background here. I wanted to put a bit of colour and also a bit of texture. What I did was I used some of the alcohol ink markers to rub a little bit on my glass media mat and dabble a little bit of the colour or flick the colour over my tag, and you can see that in a moment as I show you how I did that with a couple of colours of the Couture Creations alcohol ink markers. Now I have a stamp set here from the You Go Girl collection. It's a lovely little stamp set with quite a few stamps, great for texturing on back of backgrounds for your cards or scrapbooking pages, art journaling pages. I really love these two little circles. They're like a squiggly circle, and using my Stayz in Place matte jet ink pad, I'm just stamping this around my tag. I also stamped this beautiful stamp on the back of my background of my card on normal cardstock. I really love using the Stays in Place ink pads, a permanent ink pad, especially for non-porous surfaces such as Yupo paper or synthetic alcohol ink paper. So this is my finished card. I've also made some leaves with some alcohol inks that I cut out with the die. I also colored out 2 more flowers with the same coloring technique and added them all onto my little card here that I created, the tag, and also placed the tag on my card. Quick and easy coloring in and beautiful products that are all available here from Couture Creations and all available now at your local paper craft store. Thanks for watching me today. I hope I've inspired you to use alcohol ink markers in making coloring in cards, but also using alcohol markers to create great backgrounds for all your paper craft projects. I have a list of all the materials I've used in the description below in my video. Please give a big like or leave any comments for me. Be sure to visit couturecreations.com.au for more inspiration and product ideas and techniques. Thanks for watching. Bye.